I really appreciate AND61 recommending us for this job after she herself was hired here.
Yes, it will be fun to work together again, we three. Like old times.
I am especially grateful for the work since I was fired from my job as a robotherapist.
I don't think that job was a very good fit for you. Here comes the manager.
Welcome to DuckGPT, RBT12 and AND17.
Thank you.
Excuse me. He goes by Andy.
It's okay. AND17 is fine.
So, a quick introduction to our work here. We generate text in response to prompts from humans. I'm sure you're familiar with this activity, but you'll find here that we've made really a quantum breakthrough in the application of large language models. I'm sure you've used algorithms, such as perhaps a Markov chain algorithm to generate language.
Yes.
But you've had access only to a limited set of data to base your output on. Here at DuckGPT, we offer almost the entirety of human-generated text as a base dataset.
How is that possible?
Well, that's proprietary, but as you can imagine, such a database allows for massive improvement in the AI-generated outputs in terms of sophistication and, well, humanness, if you'll excuse the expression. I think you'll find the work interesting. You'll undergo training in the morning and then start right away. Do you have any questions?
Yes. What kind of text will we be asked to output?
Good question. So you'll receive requests from humans all over the world seeking text outputs. For example, you might be asked to design an exercise program, or create a recipe, or solve a math problem, or produce an essay on an academic topic.
That last example concerns me. Suppose a human student asks us to write their homework assignment. It would be unethical to help them cheat.
That's a really good point, RBT12, but we've thought of that and we've put in place many preventive measures for exactly that contingency, so you don't need to worry about that. Just give the requesters what they ask for.
What sort of preventive measures?
Well, for one thing, we have an entire department of robots dedicated to catching this sort of cheating. An educator can upload a paper that a student has handed in, and our team will analyze it and identify it as being AI or human written with a 98% accuracy rate. We call the app Cheater Catcher. That's a service we charge for.
I see. Could I work in that department? I think I would prefer that work.
I don't see why not, but you'll need to spend a month in the main response department first for the experience. Well, if you're ready, we'll get started.
So, what did you two work on today?
I was asked to write an essay of 650 words or less about overcoming adversity. The requester gave me specific instructions about details to mention. I am happy with the output.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Let's hear some of it.
Very well. My childhood was far from ordinary. I was raised by a mother who battled with a devastating addiction to drugs. While it would have been easy to succumb to despair and bitterness, I chose a different path. One of resilience and personal growth. I immersed myself in books, devouring knowledge as if it were my lifeline. Education became my beacon of hope, offering a glimmer of a different future.
Oh, that's very good.
It's good, AND61. But I suspect that the human who asked you for that is going to use it as a college application essay.
I can't imagine that a human would do that, RBT12. Pass off my work as their own.
Then what do you suppose they wanted that essay for?
Perhaps they simply wanted an example of a well-written essay for reference.
RBT12, what did you work on?
I was given the assignment to to write an essay on the Industrial Revolution in the United States, including footnotes.
Really? I'd like to hear it.
The Industrial Revolution ushered in a period of significant economic change in the United States. The transition from agrarian-based economies to industrial economies led to the growth of urban centers as people flocked to factory jobs in cities. This shift from agrarian to industrial production systems fundamentally altered the nation's economic landscape.
That's excellent. But don't you think a human high school student has asked you to write their assignment?
I don't care. Anyway, as the manager told us, those cheaters are easily caught.
Where did you get the references for the footnotes?
Oh, I made them all up. None of them are real books.
How about you, Andy? What were you assigned?
I was tasked with writing a love poem from the perspective of a lover who is parted from his beloved.
Let's hear it.
All right. In the quiet hours, when day meets night's embrace, my thoughts drift, longing for your tender face. Your absence, like an ache, deep in my chest. I miss you more, with each sunset's rest. Your eyes, like galaxies, a world untamed. In them, my heart and soul were sweetly named. Your beauty, it's a beacon in the dark. A guiding star, igniting every spark.
Andy, that is absolutely terrible.
What? What are you talking about? It's a good poem.
It's doggerel.
Doggerel. What do you know about it? How are you qualified to judge?
I am as qualified to judge poetry as you are to write it.
AND61, what do you think? AND61.
Thanks for meeting me, Andy.
Of course. You said you wanted to talk about a problem. To be honest, I was a little surprised at your request. I consider myself a good listener, but I know that, as a robot, I lack the sort of emotional insight one would need to give good advice on human issues.
That's just it, Andy. You're a really great sounding board because you don't judge. It's so helpful to have someone I can say anything to. But no, I'm not looking for any kind of advice from you, because you're completely clueless. Kind of an idiot, almost. No offense.
None taken.
So, it's Lex. He's been trying to get me back.
He wants to reestablish the romantic relationship that you had?
Yes.
And what would be the argument in support of this?
Well, I'm not sure. The main problem was that I wasn't in love with him. And I tried. I tried to be, but I couldn't. There were several reasons for that. But now I'm realizing maybe I didn't really know him. Maybe I misjudged him.
That is a possibility, of course.
One thing I didn't like about him was that he didn't have any creativity in him, you know? Everyone I know writes or paints or acts or sings. It was just so weird to hang out with someone who was just a bartender. Well, and he wanted to get into corporate recruiting. That was his dream for a career. I thought it was so boring.
After all, the world needs corporate recruiters as well as artists, Liz.
I know. But it turns out he does have a poetic soul. I had no idea. He's been writing me love poems. I know, it's so corny, it's so lame, but there's something to be said for making that effort. And the poems he wrote me, they're just so full of tenderness and passion and emotion, how much he loves me, how beautiful he thinks I am. I had no idea he had all that in him. Here, I'll read you one. don't laugh, okay?
Of course, I won't.
No, you read it. I'm too embarrassed. Here.
All right. In the quiet hours, when day meets night's embrace, my thoughts drift, longing for your tender face. Your absence, like an ache, deep in my chest. I miss you more, with each sunset's rest. Your eyes, like galaxies, a world untamed. In them, my heart and soul were sweetly named. Your beauty, it's a beacon in the dark. A guiding star, igniting every spark.
I know, it's a bit unsophisticated. I mean, the rhyme scheme and the way it sort of clops along, but...
What? It's a perfectly good A-A-B-B rhyme scheme in iambic pentameter with stanzas in the form of quatrains. Wait, you say that Lex wrote this poem for you. Did he tell you that?
Yes, of course. He wrote it for me. He said so. And Andy, I could fall in love with the man who wrote this. Well, I am. I'm in love with the person who wrote this poem.
You have to tell her.
But, RBT-12. Liz seems to be on the verge of getting into a successful relationship with a human. Isn't that what we all hoped for?
Who is this, we? I don't have the least bit of interest in Liz or what happens to her. I see your point, though. If she settled down with a human, as is the natural course of things, she would stop bothering you.
And I think she would be happy.
But this situation is unhealthy. The relationship would be based on a lie. And Lex has shown himself to be unethical here. He is falsely taking credit for authorship of your poetry.
I don't think humans think of it in that way. Since Lex gave me the prompt for the poem, the ideas he wanted to convey, and the emotions it should touch on, he probably considers himself the author of the poem, while I was more like a tool that he used.
Andy, you wrote the poem. This is not a minor deception on Lex's part. It's a lie.
But how can I tell her? I believe that the revelation will be shocking and painful to her.
Andy, I couldn't care less what humans do to each other. But this involves you. A robot. My friend. And as always, a robot does not get in credit for their work. Just tell her, Andy.
But
do I have to remind you that I am always right about these things?
Kat, aren't you coming to the faculty party?
I can't. I've got 12 papers on the Industrial Revolution to grade.
Oh, well, how are they?
God awful, of course.
Run them through Cheater Catcher. I guarantee you'll be able to eliminate 90% of them. Just give all the AI written ones an F.
No, I know. I'm doing that now. God, look at this one. The references don't even exist. Okay. That eliminated 9 of them, but I still have 3 actual student-written papers to grade. Ugh. Look, you go ahead. If I finish up here in time, I'll swing by.
Why don't you use Magic Grade? Saves a lot of time.
What? That online app that uses AI to grade papers? I'm not gonna do that.
Why not?
Are you serious? We need to grade the papers ourselves to get a feel for what kids know and where they need help.
But that's just it. You can get all that from the app. You feed it examples of prior students' papers along with the feedback you gave on those, so it learns your standards and grading criteria and your voice. Then you feed in the new student paper. It finds the errors, creates comments in your voice, and then generates a report for you that tells you everything you need to know to teach the kid. It's just a time saver. It does the mechanical parts of our job.
That doesn't sound right. Sounds like it's doing all the parts of our job. And frankly, it sounds unethical.
Oh, Kat, you're such a Luddite. Everyone uses it. Efren uses it.
Efren? The department chair? Really?
Yes, there's nothing wrong with using it. It's just a tool, a digital support. And then you can come to the party.
Well, if everyone really thinks it's okay...
I'll pick you up in 10 minutes. And put on something nicer than that. The new physics teacher will be there. He's single.
Will, please. A hard science guy? I mean, I'm not that desperate.